Hey Flosstube, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you on this Sunday, January 3rd. Still sick, so you're going to see me in my TARDIS robe again. Hope you guys have had a good couple of stitchy days since I saw you last. Stitchy-wise, I've had a good start to the new year. Health-wise, not so much. I don't know if it is the weather fronts that keep coming through. Oh, this is too hot today. I don't know if it is the fact that the seasons or the nature thought it was spring for a couple of weeks. I don't know. Or if it's just the stress of the holidays getting to me, but I'm still really congested. I'm not sleeping super well, looking awful. Oh well. So I apologize in advance if there is sniffing, if there is coughing, that my voice sounds awful. But it's either get all of that or don't get a video. So, and I wanted to do a video because, like I said, stitchy-wise, everything's has gone pretty well so far. And when I'm sick, I do two things. I sleep or I stitch because I don't really feel like doing much else. So, anyway, got a lot to talk about today. It took me nearly as long to prepare for this video as I anticipate its length is going to be, because we are back full swing in all sorts of craziness for the full week ahead. So let's go ahead and get started because we got a lot to talk about. I'm sorry, guys. I'll start with my Q&A like I do every week. Who is it? David. You can't come in the video right now.
It's like going around on YouTube.
Okay, we'll go watch some for a little bit. Thank you. Sorry. He doesn't need to be in the video right now because he is wearing what he sleeps in, which is just his underwear. We've been lazy this morning. Anyway, Q&A. Rena Furman asked why I have more than about 3 inches of space around most of my patterns, because it seems like it could be kind of a waste. There's a few reasons for that. One, I don't always know how I'm going to finish a piece. If I know I'm going to frame it, sure, it would make sense to do the 3 inches on the side, but I don't know sometimes if I'm going to make something into a pillow, if I'm going to attempt to do a cube. I don't always know going into the piece how I'm going to finish it. I usually wait until the end on how I'm going to finish it. Now, granted, most of my pieces that I've ever finished have been framed, but since I don't usually know how I'm going to finish it, I don't want to run the risk of limiting myself to what I can finish it by only having a certain amount on each side. The other reason is because when I was initially starting off with stitching, I used to cut things down. And I cannot tell you the number of times that even though I would measure 100 times and cut once, how many times I would realize too late into the piece that I hadn't cut it properly. And that just burned me more times than I can tell you. So I have gotten into the habit of waiting and cutting at the end so that I am sure of where the spacing is going to be. I save my scraps. Like when I did the Doctor Who clock, I wasn't entirely sure how it was going to fit and what size clock and stuff I was going to use, but I saved the overwhelming majority of the scraps that are usable from when I cut it down to fit into the clock. So I still save the stuff that I'm not going to use. And I try to adjust. If I know I can fit it on like half of a fat quarter, then I'll put it on, if it'll fit on a fat eighth and I have a fat quarter that I'm wanting to do it on, I'll put it on whatever side I want. But I do save the scraps. The third reason that I just thought of as I was talking is because I do so many of my pieces on my hand-dyed fabrics, and I deliberately deal with the placing of, most of them start in the middle, but sometimes I deliberately do the placing based on how the fabric is dyed. Where's the modeling? What do I want to capture as the background with the fabric? So that doesn't always make it conducive to cut immediately. So I would rather cut a piece of fabric when I'm done and I can see the piece there and I can much better make the measurements. It's just one of the things I'm not good at doing in advance. Carolina S. asked if Silk Weavers is by Zweigart. I have so many Silk Weaver fabrics that have this Zweigart sticker on it, so I don't know if they're owned by the same person, but I think Silk Weavers does use Zweigart fabric instead of the Witch Old fabrics. So yes and no. I'm not entirely sure, to be quite honest. Molly Ollie 10 asked if I have insurance specifically for my stash. No, but that may be something I need to think about. We have a homeowner's insurance policy, which covers quite a bit. And I can, because I have a good idea of what's all in my stash, I know pretty much how much the value of everything is. I might have to look into that. Good idea. Claire asked, Claire L asked if on YouTube you can see who dislikes a video. Nope. Can't see who likes a video either. I don't worry about it. I mean, if you like the video, great. If you don't, if you want to put a dislike, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. The only time it becomes a bother to me is if my kids are in the video and there's a dislike and the kids think the dislike is because of them. And I always explain that away, and no, it's not them. It's just grumpy people out there. So, and one of those, if you don't like my videos, why watch? But I don't worry about it. Cassandra Patrizio asked a follow-up question about my Moe's sale conversions and wanting to know what I'm substituting out for the Frosted Pumpkins 2016 piece. I will be happy to share that when that piece comes up in the rotation, or it's coming up. I can do a little bit of blurb here. I can post something on Stitchmania. But I will be happy to share that when it comes up, which I think is next week, maybe the week after. Don't trust my judgment on dates right now. The holiday and being sick and the kids being off school. Let's just say I can't wait until Tuesday and they go back to school. They need to go back to school. Anyway. So yeah, I'll be happy to post that when it comes up and we're getting ready to start it. But the general rule of thumb that I use when substituting out any flosses, whether it's Moe's or Jottery or Dragonfly Lotus or any other company, I try to keep it in the same color family. So if the piece calls for a blue DMC, I try to keep whatever I substitute out for Moe's to still be a predominantly blue color. It may have variegation in it, it may not. Some are more variegated than others. It may have multicolors in the variegation, but if it's predominantly in the same color family, then I kind of use it as an option. I do have one of the DMC color fold out things. It's not the one with the actual thread, it's just the pictures. But I do kind of use that also as a judge, instead of going through the actual floss or DMC and seeing, okay, this is the color that it's calling for in the pattern. What colors do I have in my Moe's that fit that? You know, if it's a dark blue, I try to keep it in a darker blue. But I don't substitute, if it's a green, I don't make it a red. If it's a light blue, I don't make it a super dark navy, unless it's part of the variegation. But it's same color family, same basic area, and then I just kind of pick what I like for my stash. But yeah, I'll be happy to to let you know what I'm doing for the Moe's for Frosted Pumpkin 2016 when that comes up. Beverly Evanger asked what size hoop do I use. I primarily use a 10-inch hoop. I do have some smaller hoops for smaller pieces as needed, but it's usually the 10-inch hoop. Novice Stitcher asked, how do I know where I stopped on a piece if I don't pick it up again for a while? When I stop on a piece for a day, I try not to, I don't park, because parking would not work with my rotation. And parking, just even looking at it makes me anxious. See, there are some things that make me anxious in this craft. Parking's one of them. Even though I know it works great for some people, it's just not something that appeals to me. So I try to make sure I don't have any hanging threads when I'm done with a piece for the day. I try to finish off whatever color I'm using so that when I pick it up the next time, whatever that next time may be, I can just start wherever I feel like starting when it comes up. Sometimes if I'm working on a piece, like my focus for a finished piece, or if it's for a stitch along that I'm going to be working on for several days, I may leave a hanging thread at the end of the day, and it's then just the next day that I pick it up and I can see where I left off and go from there with that one hanging thread. But if it's just, I'm not going to touch it again until it comes back up in the rotation, I try not to leave any hanging threads if I can help it. Let's see. Tammy Neal asked, how do I decide what fabrics will look good for a project that I'm doing? Well, I don't know if I can really explain it. I have, as you all know, I have a pretty large fabric stash. And I will look at a piece and I kind of look at the theme of it. and look at what the recommended background fabric is. Look at the colors that are called for in the piece. And I kind of just go and I start going through my stash and I pick out fabrics that I think might work. And it's really just this might work. And I usually pull out like 3 or 4 fabrics as options for a piece. And then I will do a regular old floss toss if I have the flosses available and kind of see what colors will fit in where. I have this idea in my head that a lot of fairies are, either kind of woodsy or maybe they're in the sky. I look and I see what calls to me. It's not really much more complex than that. It helps to have a large stash. I don't 99% of the time, I can't say 100% because I just did a little bit ago, but 99% of the time, I don't buy fabric with a piece in mind for it. Excuse me, sorry. Warned ya. So having the large stash kind of makes it easy to go through and see, okay, oh, hey, this one might work. Oh, hey, this one might work. Or things you wouldn't even think of. It's harder when you are looking to try to order a piece of fabric. The viewer is a great tool. I'll try to put a link to that below. Forgive me in advance if I forget any of the links that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to remember to put them all, but sick. So I will, but that's kind of just what I do. I just see what calls out to me. And you can kind of tell sometimes that I have pieces that I know people out there wouldn't think that fabric would go well for the piece that I pick. It's just, if I think it will look good, I'll pull it and do it. And then, actually that was Tammy Neal who asked that. Yeah. Sorry if I'm sick. Nerdy Canadian asked, how do I store all of my patterns and whips and stuff? Right now, it's off to the side. I'm not going to show it right now, but I have 2 Sterilite tubs and boxes over here that just have bags, the plastic bags that I hold my whips in or my starts to be. One has all of my whips, one has my plan new starts. And that's all. It's just in a pile in a bag right now. But starting today, actually, I have a couple of these from IKEA, these boxes. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because T and J don't have, no. So I have this that, I have a couple of these boxes, and let me see if I can grab it. It's not cardboard, but a kind of a cardboardy box. And I'm going to start putting them in here in alphabetical order. And then when a box is full, I can label A through whatever. And these boxes will fit in the storage that I still have to build in here. That is my goal, to build storage in here. Got to get not being sick now. I got a gift card to IKEA for Christmas, so I can finish it up in here. I just got to do it. So these will go in my storage, and I can have, 2 or 3 or 4 of them and have it all in ABC order. So that's, the pieces that I worked on this week that I'm doing it as with my whips for the week and fitting them in that way instead of worrying about fitting everything in right now. I'm just going to build into it each week. So that's the plan. And like I said, it's this box to Jenna. T and J aren't supposed to go together right away. Thanks, Swiss company. So yeah, there's my Q&A. I hope I answered all the questions this week. I tried to make sure I caught them all. If I haven't answered your question or if you have another question, please feel free to put it in the comments and I'll be happy to answer it next week. Okay, week in review, which is really 2 days in review. That's okay. So you all saw on Friday what I was going to work on for Friday and Saturday, and I did work on everything. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I did this week. For my 15 minutes a day, I worked on Magical Creatures Calendar by Clouds Factory. I will put a link to the pattern below because I realized I hadn't done that. I have only put in 30 minutes so far on the January frame, but here's where we are at this point. So I got January written down there, which I know it's a little hard to read. The brown on it is a little bit harder than I expected it to be. So I think I'm going to go back and outline it in like black so it pops, and I'll probably do that for all of them. but I like the effect of it because it kind of makes it look like a foggy, woodsy type thing. I just need to go back and outline it a little bit more. No big deal. So that's all I've done at this point. This will continue this week to be my 15-minute pattern every day, and I'll show you guys where I got to next week. I am doing this on 32 Opal Belfast in Diva from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from those sale. So that way, we'll go over there. Then my focus for a finished piece that I worked on for half an hour a day, so another hour since Friday, is Happy Everything by Diane Arthur, which I still very much love. So I put another hour into it since Friday. So here's where we stand at this point. I got more of the white done, the gray. So this is being done on 28 cashel linen and treasure trove from Silk Weavers, and the minder is my son's Jake in the Neverland Pirates needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So I will continue to work on this for 30 minutes a day this week, and we'll show you guys where I get next week. Then I had my year of starts. Year of starts. I started my year of starts. How many times can I say starts? I told you I'm a little bit crazy today. So, year of starts. On the 1st, I started my Tuscany Town mandala from Chatelaine. I put in 30 minutes on it. And it is being done on 32 Lugana in Chime from Picture This Plus. I forgot how much I love working with silks. This is where I got to on the first day. And my minder is a crown needle minder from Minding My Minders. And see, this is one where I actually did carry the thread and have it here, because I know when I pick it up, I'm still working on this middle section. And so I kind of can see where I'm at. Now, I actually kind of see more of the yellow this time, but it's a nice creamy soft yellow. Now, today starts my rotation between the 2016 Stitch Mania annual stitch alongs, the Brooks books and the Chatelaine. I am going to be working on this piece this entire week for the Chatelaine Shenanigans stitch along. So it will be getting an additional 30 minutes a day this week, every day, for that stitch along. And I will show you guys where I end up with it next week. And then next week, just as a reminder, I will do a Brooks Books piece for 30 minutes a day. And I go back and forth between the two annual stitch alongs for Stitch Mania, so I can give time to both. So this will get another 30 minutes a day this week, which makes me happy because I was working on that and I'm like, silks. That's Gloriana that I showed you guys in the middle, and it was so nice to work with. Then my year of starts piece yesterday was the Miss New Year's Fairy by Mirabilia, and I am doing this one on 32 count Jobelin in Hocus Pocus from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and here's where I got to. So just started working on her dress, and the minder is a fairy cameo from Gina's Unique Boutique. So this is one of those where I know I can fit it on a fat 8, so I will fit it on half of this fabric, but I'm not cutting this yet, because I may have something to do this on, or another idea for this pattern or this fabric, that I may just keep it on this side, but if I don't pick something by the time I'm done with this, I'll cut it. It's just safer for me not to cut it yet. It's one of my quirks. So those are my year of starts. So 2 of 366 down. Put this back in the bag. Ugh, I really hate sinus crap. It is not fun. Okay, then my whips for the week. On the 1st, I worked on Lizzie Kate's ABCs of Parenting. And I was happy with the progress I made on it. It is being done on 32 Lugana in Earthen from Picture This Plus, and I almost completely finished this row here. So I got J, or I, J, and almost all of H done. I just stopped before they finished the H, but so there's where we are at this point. And I've got the Texas needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. This will be another one I cut down when I'm ready to cut it down. So this one will be the first one to put in the box, which I will do after I am done with this video. Still got to put it in the bag though. So you'd be amazed how long it takes to get this all set up, let alone put back away. Then yesterday I worked on the American flag quilt sampler from Rosewood Manor. Did not get as far as I wanted to because I was feeling really bad yesterday, but I still made decent progress. Here is where we stand at this point. I finished all of the blue around Maryland and did that orangey color in the next one. So I'll work on that quilt the next time it comes up, and I have my Outlander needle minder from Minding My Minders. So yep, not quite as far as I wanted to get to, but you know, like I have said many, many times before, every stitch put in is one stitch closer to the finish. Any progress is good progress. So that was what I worked on for the past 2 days. Now let's talk about what's coming up for this week. So my 15 minutes a day pieces, because still we haven't started the 2016 stitch alongs yet for Frosted Pumpkin or Clouds Factory. I'll be working on Magical Creatures for 15 minutes a day. And then for 30 minutes a day, every day, I'll work on my Focus for a Finished piece, which is Happy Everything. And then I will do my Chatelaine Shenanigans stitch along, which is my Tuscany Town Mandala this week. So those will both get 30 minutes a day. Then the other aspect, or the other part of my 30 minutes a day, are the new starts for this week. So let me show you. Today I will be working on the Dove Santa from Mill Hill. So just a perforated paper piece. So that'll be my start for today. And I've had a question on if on how I figured out which pieces I'd work on what days. Sometimes it was just here I want to work on this piece, what's the next day I have a date available. Some of it was, this is my birthday, or this is this stitch along day, or this is that stitch along day. Other than that, I just kind of fit them in. They're not in alphabetical order for the year of starts. They will be put in alphabetical order when they move from year of starts to being officially whips. They'll go in my rotation. Anyway, tomorrow, Monday, I will work on American Eagle from Mill Hill. So a couple Mill Hill kits in a row here. You know, worked on a couple of big pieces for the first 2 days. Let's work on something a little smaller the next couple of days. Then on Tuesday, I don't have a pattern to show you because it's electronic, so I'll try to put it down below. But I'm going to be working on the 12 Days of Christmas by Satsuma Street. And I am doing it on 32 Jobelan in Spring Grass from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a really pretty green. It's not showing as bright as it actually is, but with the colors that Satsuma Street uses, I think it's going to be perfect. And I'm going to be using a Mrs. Claus needle minder that I got from Nifty Needle Nannies. So that will be on Tuesday when the kids go back to school. Yay. My daughter has already told me a couple of different times she's looking forward to going back because, you know, in the summer we can go out and do a lot of fun activities during the week and stuff. It's just not as easy to do it during this break. So anyway, Wednesday, out of the Fairy Enchantment book by Joan Elliott, I will be working on the Fairy Queen. And here is a drawing of what the Fairy Queen will look like. She's very pretty. And I am going to be doing her on 32 Belfast in Dappled Hollow from Under the Sea Fabrics. I love the purple and greens. It's very woodsy, very mythical, very fairy, if you ask me. And I am using a blingy Tinkerbell needle minder that I think I got from Gina's Unique Boutique. So that will be on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it's back in here, my new start will be A Mother's Love by Lila's Studio. And this one is going to be an adventure for me because I am doing it on just plain white, but it's 40 count white Newcastle linen. 40 count. 40 count. We'll see how it works. And I'm using a Purple Heart needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Hopefully I don't go blind. I think I'll be okay. But it's going to be a first. I know several people who love working on 40 count, and that's great. I just haven't jumped into that yet. But that's what this pattern calls for, so we're going to see how it works. Excuse me. Then on Friday, I will be starting on my Spirit of Oz Santa by Brooks Books. Yay! I have already seen several people start this for the Brooks Book Stitch Along in Stitch Mania, and it's looking great. It's just a perforated paper piece, so no needle minders for my perforated paper pieces, just as a reminder, because it bends the perforated paper. And then on Saturday, out of Reader's Digest, the Big Book of Cross Stitch Designs, I am doing, make sure I don't show the pattern, Antique Keys. Isn't that cute? And I am doing this on 28 Joblin and Avalon from Under the Sea Fabrics. And this is a piece I actually cut because the other half that I'm working on, I knew I could cut it and be okay. So it's an actually cut piece. And I'm going to use a wooden TARDIS needle minder from Delicious Threads. So, yay! So those are all my new starts that are planned for this upcoming week. I think, and those will all get 30 minutes a day, because that's what I have dedicated to doing my new starts, is 30 minutes a day. Some of these pieces, I'm about to go into my whips. Some of these pieces, if they were already whips, would have shown up at some point in this alphabetical rotation. If I have already passed that part of the alphabet, or where it would be in the alphabetical rotation for the whips when it moves into the whip list, it's just going to wait. So some of these pieces, the new starts for all year, are going to come up sooner than others because of where they fall while I'm working on my whip rotation. So, you know, A Mother's Love, you would think would show up, or 12 Days of Christmas because of the number, should show up like early, but it's probably going to be a while before you guys see them again since I'm passing that part of the alphabet. All right, whips for the week. Yay, whips. Okay. Today, and whips, when I work on the whips, it's however long I have left in the day that I want to work on them. Hello?
And then with my popcorn, I can watch YouTube.
For a little while, if Daddy says it's okay.
Can you say it?
No, you need to go ask your daddy. I love it when the kids try to pit them, mommy and daddy against each other. Okay. So, like I said, the whips get whatever time I have left in the day that I want to work on it. There's no minimum, there's no maximum, it's however long I want to work on it. So today I will be working on my Angel of Compassion from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's the Selena Finnick design. And this one, if you all recall, has a lot of Kreinik. See all that sparkle? Kreinik, 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 Kreinik. This is just being done on a 25 count Aida. So I'm going to try to finish the Kreinik on this page today. That would be nice to not have to worry about the Kreinik anymore. And this is still just page 1. So Kreinik takes a while. And I'm using a little angel needle minder from Minding My Minders. So that is today's. Then tomorrow I am scheduled to work on my Angel of Cross Stitch by Joan Elliott. Now, this is the original one that she released, and it has 391 colors on it. It had all the colors of DMC at the time it was released. She just announced on her Facebook page that she's about to, or that she just released the chart pack for an updated version of this that now has the 400 plus colors, because it has the colors that have been added and took out the colors that are no longer around for this one. I've already started this one. I'm not going to do the 400 color one, but you know, if you're looking for this, she's really re-releasing it as an updated version. So there's that. I am doing this one on 28 Jobelan in Sea Foam from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a really pale green. It's not going to show up really well on camera, but oh well. So here's how much I've done at this point. There's a lot of white in her skirt that I've done there. You can kind of see some more gray. And then I have a white rabbit needle minder from Delicious Threads. So yeah, we'll see what I get added on that. Then, excuse me, I really am sorry. I'm really tired of being sick. It gave me false hope on, I guess, Friday night. I was feeling better, like I could breathe. And so I thought, oh, wow, maybe it's just a one-day cold. And then yesterday I was just, ugh. If I am not over this by Tuesday, when the kids go back to school, I'm going to go into the doctor. But nothing is showing signs of infection and I don't have a fever. I just think it's congestion. And there's only so much that can be done for congestion. So anyway, on Tuesday, I'm scheduled to work on Anne of Green Gables from Soda Stitch. This is a fun piece. I like this one a lot. Sorry, Garrett. And this one is being done on 28 Jobelan in Vanilla Mint from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here's where I stopped last time. Still working on Anne and Diana. And I've got an Anne of Green Gables book needle minder from Pinoy Stitches. So, yay! Sorry, thought I saw something on here. So yeah, work on that one. That's Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, I am scheduled to work on Beauty and the Beast Falling in Love from the Thomas Kinkade Disney Dreams collection. And here is where I am on it at this point. And I have my pinup Belle from Gina's Unique Boutique. So, yay! And then on Thursday, I had to write down in my notes which day I'm going to be working on all of these pieces, just because I knew that right now it was not going to be sticking in my head. Thursday, I am working on Biggest Stash by Crosspoint Designs. That's right, Crosspoint Designs, yeah. She who has the biggest stash wins. And this is being done on 32 Jobelan in April Showers from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And I just have, last time I worked on it, didn't get a lot of time to work on it. So I've got the little, ooh, there's better light over there. Oh, well. Just the little chair in the middle. And I've got a heart needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Because the minder I was using on this was that huge Dr. Pepper needle minder, and it's just way too big. It's going to stay on my needle minder board, but it's more of a, I'm more Texan than you are, Garrett, needle minder. Had to throw that out there. It's been a while. Then on Friday, I'm scheduled to work on the bookshelf by Little House Needleworks. It's another fun one. And it is being done on 32 Lugana in Doubloon from Picture This Plus. And there is where I'm starting it at this point. And I have a Pride and Prejudice needle minder from Pinoy Stitches. So I should be hopefully getting some of the authors' names in between the books this time. So I think where I'm going to start it. Work up and then go work down. And then on Saturday, I am scheduled to work on Box of Delights from Black Work Journey, which I'm hoping I can just finish all of the black part I'm doing this on 32 Joblin and Chocolate Milk from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So here's where I have right now. I wanted to finish all of the delights and all of that black work portion before I started filling them in. I've got a Jamie needle minder for minding my minders. But I have all of the jottery threads that I've been throwing in here that I've been showing you guys. They're all in here for when I'm ready to start going through and picking out which ones I want to use, because I don't know which ones I want to use yet. So, but my goal, I think, this week will be just to finish all of the black, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think there's 2 more of the little delights and then the border and the middle sections to do. So if I can do that, that would be awesome, because then the next time I worked on it, it would be all, see, it's actually kind of a neat back, kind of. It would be filling things in, so we will see how it goes. So those are all my whips. So I got a lot of projects to work on this week. If you think I have 7 new starts, plus 7 whips, so that's 14, plus my magical creatures, so that's 15, plus my focus for a finish, which is 16, and then my Tuscany Town Mantle, so I have 17 pieces to work on this week. I can do it. I think I can. Don't you? We'll see how far I get on these. So, last thing I have this week is Stash Acquisitions, which isn't much this weekend. It's pretty much all fabric. I did get in the Gypsy Queen, because I ordered that from Under the Sea Fabrics. And so I have Gypsy Queen. Yay! I only ordered the pattern because I wanted to take a look and see what I actually had from the other specialty threads and beads and treasures and all that. So, but she is going to be showing up in the Year of Starts. So, but I'm excited about her. I got my Fabric of the Month from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. This is Winterfell in 28 Joblin. And it's so pretty. The browns and the blues. I really like this. Yay! And then I got my Fabric of the Month plus all but one of the sale fabrics from Under the Sea Fabrics. And she knows that she's got one more to send me. She even put that in a note. But is this one the Fabric of the Month? No, let me find the Fabric of the Month one first. Jolin. Okay, here is the Fabric of the Month from Under the Sea Fabrics. This is Winterbrook in 32 Belfast. And it's a very, it's doesn't look hugely modeled on the screen, but it's a very subtle, like greenish bluish with a little bit of gray in there. I like it. It's very nice. So that's the Fabric of the Month. And then my sale fabrics that I ordered from her. This one is Fairy Flight in 28 Joblin. And if you see a little blue fuzz on anything that I'm showing you, it's because my TARDIS robe that I'm wearing a lot, because I've been sick, it kind of sheds. So I've been pulling off little blue bits. But here is Fairy Flight, 28 Joblin. It's pretty with the blues and the turquoise, or the turquoises and the purpley pinks, and it's just very, very pretty. And then I ordered, this one is Siren Noir in 32 Joblin, which I think I have another piece of this coming too. Pretty purples and browns and blues and whites and grays, and it's just, I like it very much. And then I have, this one is Sea Witch, which in a 32 Joblin, which is just gorgeous. A lot of people have chosen Sea Witch to do Gypsy Queen on, and I'm seriously contemplating doing that myself, because it's just gorgeous. But I might not. We'll see what's calling to me at that point, when I get there. And then the last one that I got this time is Heaven's Fury in a 28 Joblin, and this is just gorgeous. I love this, and it's not my normal style, but look at this. It's got browns and grays and oranges and reds and yellows and greens, and it's just gorgeous. Very fall colors. So, but I like it a lot. Not sure what I'm going to do on it yet, but this is one of those where I have to find the perfect piece to work on. So yeah. So that was all my stash acquisitions this week. Like I said, I have my orders still, I have a couple orders pending. My monthly stuff should start coming in because we're into the first of the month, or beginning of the month, and everyone's coming back from their holidays. Things should start getting back into normal rotation and normal habits and routines. That's the R word I was searching for. Here pretty soon. I'm going to start working on finishing up this room, getting de-Christmasified. I would have started taking things down this week, but with being sick, it just didn't happen. So I'll start taking things down while the kids are in school because it's just easier. Problem with taking things down from I didn't decorate super much this year just for a variety of reasons. But the Christmas tree has all of our ornaments and it's full. It has so many ornaments on it. It's ridiculous. We have like 7 boxes worth of Christmas ornaments, like huge big boxes of Christmas ornaments, and we put them all on. But the kids put the majority of the ornaments on, and I have a lot of collections of ornaments. You know, like 5 ornaments fit in this one box because that's what it was made for. So the hard part about taking things down from the Christmas tree is figuring out where the kids put the ornaments and searching around the Christmas tree. Because I only put up certain ornaments that were part of special collections or were highly fragile. But yeah, so it usually takes a good few days to take everything down off the Christmas tree alone. So, and then once I get the supplies for February's Year of Starts in, I'll start working on that video for you guys, and start preparing to get ready for the March one as well. Yeah, we're just moving right along. So I'm still woefully behind on Flosstube. I've watched more this week than I have in a long time, and I'm still only in videos that are saying welcome to October. I'm never going to get caught up. It's just a fact of life. If there's something you really want me to see, let me know. Because otherwise what I do is I go on my subscription list several times a day and I just click watch later, watch later, watch later, watch later, and it just keeps adding to my watch later list. And I watch the videos in order on my watch later list. I don't binge watch on one person when I'm watching videos. So there may be a video that you want me to look at, comment on, a tag you want me to do. Let me know, because it'll be a while before I get to it if it's just on my watch later list. So anyway, that's about it for me. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rambling because when I'm sick, I ramble. Yeah, I think we're good. So I hope everyone has a good stitchy week. I hope if you are, that everyone else avoids this gunk that I have, because it is not fun. And otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Bye.